Peace. This is a meat potato source production starring myself, the Water Alchemist, and today's topic for the occult family is how to practice magic living somewhere you don't want to be at. Now, this is really a template slash survival guide for those who may be homeless. You may be living in a home for the mentally impaired, a halfway house, or even a sober house. Mentor hook you up and give you the tips to practicing your magic until you get a place of your own. So one of the number one things that I did when it was somewhere I didn't want to live at, when I was collecting books, I was smart enough to get them in ebook or PDF format. That's one. Now, why do you do this? You do this for the reason is that if you get a hard copy and it's delivered to the residence that you're at, you can conceal them, but that could be difficult if you're around basically what I'm going to say are just snitches or curiosity seekers. I think that's a more polite term. So any books you get, I don't care what books they are, dealing with angel magic, dealing with the jinn, or dealing with demons, get them in ebook format, download them to your iPhone if you have one, or your Android. It does not make any difference. And then you can read that before, let's say there's a cutoff time if you're at the shelter. Usually, depending on where you're at, that's like 10 o'clock to 11 o'clock. You could do that. Or any other house. Usually 10 or 11, no matter what type of house or situation you're in, that's when they usually shut it down. So get your books so you can read and study in ebook format. The other thing that people can do, and a lot of people want to know how they can protect themselves. There was a Japanese researcher and author, Dr. Masaru Emoto. He did this in the 90s. Now, I'm going to do something, family. Now, what is this? This is a glass of water, right? Wrong. Water, through his research, and this has been proven, even the occultists proved this ages ago, water captures not only memory, but energy. So, that glass of water I had, this is what you do. You can do chants, or you can just simply speak to the water. If you speak negatively, the water usually formulates crystals and oftentimes will become dark. If you speak positively to the water will get like a light to it. I'm going to give an example of what I would do. Dazor Gayar. Now, let's say a person don't want to do that out loud. Do it in your head. Don't make no excuses. Then you can use any sigil from any angel. Give it a few minutes, maybe 4 to 5 minutes, then drink the water down. Now, who's going to notice that? Nobody. And most people say, well, most people, people will be like, well, okay, that's one scientific method. Well, is there anything else to confirm that? I'm sorry, Trog. Did you say something? Oh, okay. All right. Now, back to our scheduled programming. So, you just created angel water. There's a chant that you could do, and I've done this through Russian black magic. You can chant and speak with hate or anger to water 13 times and then have your target drinking. I shouldn't have to fill in the blanks what happens. Create your own sigils. That's another thing that you can do. Sleep with the sigil underneath your pillow, or when you speak to it and charge it with what you want it to do, carry that in your purse or on your person, and things will happen. Also, let's say you got your own personal space. Like I know at homes for people who struggling with drug or alcohol addiction, they may have their own room and it's small. What you can do is you can call on an example again on the god Thor. Thor is very high regarded, and you can ask Thor to protect your space, sacred space. The other thing that you can get if you receive mail or you get in a family member house or even where you're residing at, you can get figurines right here. This is one. This is Athena, the goddess of wisdom amongst the Greeks. You can keep figurines, like if you got a small table, you can make that to a makeshift temporary altar. So you can get figurines that's small enough to fit on a small table, but yet you can carry this on your person, or even if you got a backpack when you leave. Meditation is very good. Do it for 10 to 15 minutes, and then you can do chants mentally in your head, as well as working on how to breathe correctly. So these are some things that you could do, because I always hear people say, well, what can I do? What can I do? And I'm gonna add in something else. And again, books are tools. They ain't gonna teach you everything. This is why you get you a teacher. You usually will have breakthroughs when you're going through a dark period in your life. I was going through a dark period, and that's how I found out that Cassiel was one of my guardian angels. Now, Cassiel is an angel who resides in the seventh heaven, and his planet is Saturn. He's basically like a watcher. Now, how would you know? People say, well, how do spirits communicate with me? Spirits communicate with you in the best way. They could use anything. So it's not like they in the Stone Age and they don't understand the internet. But what they usually do, and I found this amongst other people, they'll communicate telepathically. I remember I knew very little about Cassiel, and I was just sitting up meditating, because it's hard to sleep at night when you don't want to be where you're at. And there wasn't, something just said Cassiel. And then I looked it up. Another thing, if you buy a shop or whatever, carry a pendulum, and you can charge that. And everything I'm saying is that the occult means secret. And I'm gonna say this, because I know Charles watched this. Y'all idiots anyway. So Edgar Allan Poe said this: if you want to hide something, hide it in plain sight. So that's a survival guide, basically practicing magic somewhere you don't want to be at. And usually angels, they will see to it, they will get you where you need to go in life. So with that, that is your meat and potato sorcery for the day. I am the Water Alchemist. Be water, my friends. Peace.